Good morning. Okay, today you guys are going to be the teachers, and what we're going to cover today is negative exponents. You are going to each teach the same thing to all the groups. So we're going to rotate, and you're going to have each set of kids 10 or 12 minutes or so, just like normal. Okay, so here we go with negative exponents. It will happen in our mathematical careers that we will see 2 to the negative 1. And we need to know what that means so we know what to do with it. Now, an underlying rule in math is that you are not allowed to leave a negative exponent in an answer. So this is not allowed. Or you might see this. Whatever it is, this little guy, not allowed. So what we're going to do today is figure out what we're supposed to do about it. You have to make it positive. Now, the way you make it positive is that we are going to move it to the bottom floor. So just like it shows on the PowerPoint, we have 2 to the negative 1. And what this means, we could think of it as this 2 is in the wrong spot and needs to move downstairs. So he's going to go to the bottom. He's going to keep the same exponent. And since there was nothing on top, it's going to be turned into a 1. It's kind of harder to see when there's a 1 there. This is what I just said. You do not want to have negative exponents in your answer. You get rid of them by flipping the exponent over. Officially, what we are doing is reciprocaling it. Let's see. If the negative exponent is on the top, you move it to the bottom. So in this example, we have the little negative 2, which really means, help, I'm on the wrong floor, I need to go downstairs. So we move him to the downstairs, and he keeps the same exponent. So if I had 2 to the negative 3, think about what that would look like. Hopefully you wrote this, 2 to the 3rd, which when we do the multiplication would be 1/8. So we could say that 2 to the negative 2 is a more complicated way of writing 1/8. And this is actually one of those things that really is used in math in the real world. Okay, now, what if the negative exponent is in the bottom? Like on this example, 1/2 to the negative 2. So same story. The negative 2 in the exponent, this guy here means I'm on the wrong floor. So I need to move to the correct floor. So he's going to go upstairs. He's going to keep the same exponent. And if there's nothing left behind, a 1 remains. Okay, so then when you do the multiplication, this turns into a 4. Let's do one where it's a different exponent. Like, let's say we had 3 to the negative 5th. Think about what's going to happen. It's going to go upstairs, 3 to the 5th, and then whatever that would be a big number. So this is what we just talked about. Definition of negative exponents. So this is the part that we will eventually write in our notes, which may or may not be helpful to some of you. But any number, that's what a is, to the negative n means we flip it and put it under a 1. And it works the other direction. If we have 1/a to the negative n, then a goes upstairs and takes the exponent and it changes signs. I want you to turn your paper over and write this on the back for your kids. Hit pause while you do that. So this is the example we started with. Now check this out. Remember, the rule of exponents is the exponent only applies to what it's immediately touching. So here, this negative 2 is actually touching the parentheses, so it's going to apply to the entire negative 5. And then when you do the multiplication, you're going to get 1 to the 25th. Yeah? Hopefully that makes sense. So this is a summary. We flip the number over to make the exponent positive. So take a sec, hit pause while you try these examples, and then we'll work them out. Okay, so number 1, 3 to the negative 1. You're going to move the 3 to the bottom, because remember, there's always an invisible 1 underneath all of our numbers. So then we have something to flip. So this guy turns into that, 1/3. Okay, number 2 over here was 4 to the negative 2. So it's going to flip and become 4 squared, which is going to be 1/16. And then number 3 is 5 to the negative 2. Hopefully you already know that this is going to end up being 1 to the 5 over 5 squared, which is 1/25. And then number 4, 6 to the negative 2, we're going to do the same pattern. 1/6 squared, which is 1/36. Okay. And this is going to tell us all the answers. So what I'd like you to do is do the problems I gave you to practice. If you have questions, now is the time for you to come and ask me, and I'll be happy to help you, and then we'll start teaching in just a few minutes. Thank you for volunteering to be teachers today.